Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I am Jeanette. This is Caitlin. And welcome to So You Want to Collect Ball Jointed Dolls. Now what? So, first let me ask, how many people here, besides the people I've seen your dolls already, how many people here already collect dolls? And how many are just like, what are these things? What are these dolls?
Yeah.
So today we're gonna go over what they are and any questions you may have. We're gonna play some games, and at the end there is going to be a giveaway.
Ooh.
So.
I don't get to be part of the giveaway.
So, yeah, always give a trigger warning because I don't know, some people are sensitive to naked dolls. They're dolls to me, but.
And Uncanny Valley. So if Uncanny Valley is a thing, just be aware that this can kind of push that sometimes.
Okay, so again, I'm Jeanette. I'm part of the Michigan BJD group, and this is Caitlin. She is a part of the Ohio BJD group. So, and we all love dolls. Okay, so we're gonna do our one-on-one. It's a crash course for all y'all who just like, what are these things? So, we go.
Well, what is a BJD? A BJD is an articulated resin doll that is held together with tension, usually elastic. Technically, you could use something other than elastic, but if you're just using another form of string, it's not going to work. It's not going to be quite as smooth. If I were to take one of these dolls and pull their joint, you'd be able to see the elastic running through the arms or the legs.
I'll do this. So she's sitting here.
She's right here. Okay, and that's what's holding it together. There are a lot of different kinds of ways to make dolls have movable joints, but what makes a BJD is the fact that they have the balls and the elastic. Most BJDs are made out of resin, as resin is a very versatile, rather strong, rigid material, but that's not hard and fast. You can have BJDs that are not made of resin.
Yeah, because they have some now that are actually made with the high, I want to say high quality PVC that actually does the ball jointed well. Because they used to be where that stuff would just fall apart.
Yeah, and the reason you can't do something that's like a softer vinyl, well, they do have vinyl BJDs, but usually vinyls will end up, or any other kind of plastic, ends up being soft, and that tension is going to work the doll over time if it's not rigid enough.
Where'd it go? Okay, BJD, their joints offer excellent, mobility. You can bend them, stretch them, all that kind of stuff. They're held together with the tension, and because they're made of resin or something else rigid, they hold together. And that's how, when we look, if you've ever journeyed on taking one apart, that's how they usually look. Not a BJD, hinged joints. They offer a varied range of mobility. Some of them have pins that click into place, and they're either plastic or vinyl. And those are made from materials that are easily mass-produced, usually sometimes at a lower price, but that's not always the case these days. And those are what your mainline dolls are usually made out of, or the more expensive ones, which we're gonna get to, they're made out of that as well. And as we spoke, smart dolls. Smart dolls are awesome dolls. She is a smart doll. They are not technically BJDs because they have a hinge joint system, but we've invited them to play along with everybody else. So they're part of the family, but they're not the family. So the core features of BJDs are, there's a doll for everyone. As you see, there's a very many types, sizes of dolls. They're made to order, so you can get one. Certain companies will make different colors for you. You can look around and there's different sculpts. There's a big variety. And like I said, they're highly customizable, highly posable. You can get most of them in good poses. A lot of them retain or appreciate in value. With that being said, don't
Yeah, don't buy a doll expecting it's going to retain, so they're expensive, we'll get on that, I'm sure, but, don't buy a doll thinking this doll is going to get more expensive, because it really comes down to supply and demand. So most of the dolls that have appreciated in value, the only reason they have is they're highly sought after and their company went out of business, so they're not making them anymore. And there are some dolls that retain their value because they are so popular and it takes so long for a doll to get shipped to the owner. Buying them off the secondhand market makes them easily accessible.
Okay, so we are all a part of an awesome community. Both of our groups are awesome. We love to get together and talk about the things that we love. And it's definitely a versatile artistic outlet, because I know before I started getting into designing and doing stuff with dolls, the most I would think of artistically are stick figures. So I've grown a long way from that. And they're definitely loads of fun. You get to bring out your inner child, they can become your mini-me or whatever you want them to be. So here are the less cool features, because of course the good, there is the not so good. Unfortunately, a lot of them are expensive. Depending, on the low end, you can get a small one for as low as $90. On the high end, you can go into the thousands. So they're very expensive. They take a long time to come. Like I said, if you get yours custom made, it can take anywhere from 3 months to, some people say they waited 2 years.
7 years if you purchase from certain companies that are no longer really legit.
Okay, so anything that's gonna take 7 years, I'm like, do I even still want that? So my taste have even changed in that one. But most of the time, the main time frame is usually 3 months to 18 months is usually the main time frame. Like I said, it can take shorter, longer, and especially if they happen to have what you're looking for in stock. Some of them do yellow with age, depending on how they're cared for, will depend on how quickly they do, because resin is a plastic, and with everything, it mellows out in time, and it'll yellow with age. Some of them can be difficult to find accessories for. However, with the community growing, accessories are getting easier to find. And they can be highly addictive, because after my first doll, for some reason, after that first doll, I had 10 others by the end of the year. And it just kept going on after that. So, here are some terms to know. As far as sizing, we have the uncle size, which is 70 centimeters. The boy back here, even though he's dipped down, he is 70 centimeters. Really tall. They come taller than him.
Oh yes, he's not the tallest.
He's not the tallest. He's just the tallest.
He's heavy
too. And yes, he is very heavy. Then we have the 1/3. That would be the second boy over to the side, and this one right here. Those are in the 1/3 size. Then there's the 1/4, which are
this little dude here. I'm not gonna pick him up because he might knock somebody over.
1/4 could be a whole, anything between I think 39 to 46 centimeters is considered 1/4.
She is technically going to be about the same size as American Girl doll. Doesn't mean things fit. We're actually
right. They're the same height as that doll, but of course they're slimmer. And then there's the YOSDs, which are the little baby dolls. I call them the baby dolls.
Way down. Do you want me to pull one out?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, here she's scooped. Don't knock everyone else over.
So they are they are very easy to dress, because most of them can wear Barbie doll clothes. So as far as authenticity terms, let me just put those out there. So there's either legit or recast. Legit is, of course, you buying the real thing. Recast is if you're buying a knockoff. That's the simplest way I can say that. And then the COA is their certificate of authenticity, which will tell you if they're legit or not. And then as far as with doll terms, I'm not gonna go through each of these, but each of these basically talk about how the doll is made, the seams, the color, because they come in different colors. Hybrid is if you take one style doll and put it on another doll, like if you put a resin sole on a MU body, that's considered a hybrid. They all have, some of them have fantasy parts. There are people that I know who love their centaurs. So, and then the face up is, they need a face, put the face on. Full set is if the doll comes completely done. You don't have to do nothing but take them out the box, put them on the shelf, or take them out with you. And then dolls are graded on a system A, B, or C. And then as far as the community terms, DOA is for Den of Angels. They're, what would you consider Den of Angels?
They are an old school forum. They were the place back in the day to learn about BJD. Nowadays they are, you can find just as much on Instagram or on Facebook, and more people are on them because DOA can be a little bit gatekeepy. And so they have, if you can register with them and can stand to the community, they have so much information. But they do tend to have a little bit of a snot feel to them, so. Unfortunately.
And then there's the dealers. Dealers are the people that you'll buy dolls from if you're not buying directly from the company. Direct is, of course, directly from the company. And shelling.
Shelling is when you, really applicable to this group, shelling is when you take a character that you like, say, you know what, I love Link. I've seen a lot of Links. I love Link, and I want a really cool Link doll. Shelling is you pick out the sculpt you want, and then you're gonna put together your own outfit and your own face up and all that jazz. Over here, I don't know if you can see her very well, there is a marionette doll that I've started. And so she's a shelled marionette from Miraculous Ladybug. She has her shirt. I need to sit down and finish her pants and her shoes and her jacket, so she's not wearing everything else. But I had to make my own wig, I had to do my own face up, and secure my own pieces for her, but that's what shelling is creating a character.
Okay? So for y'all, are y'all ready to buy one? You have to figure out what your price point is. What is your aesthetic? What size do you want? Because of course they come in varied sizes. How long do you want to wait? I'm not patient. I don't like to wait very long, but some people don't mind that 7-year wait. But anyway, you have to think about where you will keep them, because that's one thing I know I did not think about. For the longest time, my dolls lived naked on my guest bedroom, on the bed in my guest bedroom. So, and do you want to customize your own doll, or if you just want to buy one fully put together and say, hey, this is what I want. So, and then you can get it done. As far as the face up, you can get it done by the company. There are artists out here who will do them for you, or you can do it yourself. And then as far as that, you will have to think about where you will buy your accessories. You can buy a lot of accessories from Amazon now, which, good or bad, buy a lot of accessories from them
Quality
now.
is low,
Right.
price is efficient.
And then you have to think about, are you gonna buy directly from the company or through a dealer?
So let's talk about price. Obviously, the sky is the limit with these, but there are ways that you can do a BJD, maybe not a resin BJD, but you can do BJDs for much more, much lower.
Yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say, a website that sells cheaper ball-jointed dolls is Parabox.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one of them, but it broke very easily.
No, I'm so sorry.
The legs broke off.
Oh no.
Yeah, Parabox does sell some less expensive BJDs. One thing to remember when you're going into these are handcrafted dolls that they're usually hand sculpted by an artist who then sends it to a caster who will then cast the dolls, send those dolls back to the artist, and the artist distributes them. So a lot of the bigger ones, like if you know BJDs, you've heard of Fairyland, you've heard of Maya Doll, you've heard of Impulse House, those people do it all in their own company. So they will design their doll, sculpt their doll, cast their doll. So these are still artist-made dolls. Many of the smaller ones, artists, that are independently doing this, they do their own and then they send it out to somebody else who will cast it for them, and then they can send it back to the artist to be sold. Because they are art pieces, they run higher. And I say this because, are we talking about recasts today?
You can talk about it.
Okay, I'll talk about recasts really quick. And let me put this disclaimer out here. If you have a recast, no judgment. Okay?
I bought one without knowing it was.
Exactly. A lot of people, I think I've bought one by accident without realizing it, especially if you're going for a really niche doll. If you can't find, and especially since some of them are Chinese dealers on, internet sites that are just hard to navigate, it happens. So no judgment if you have a recast doll, but if you can choose to not get a recast doll, that means you're supporting the artist. And as a community that loves artists, Artist Alley, anybody? Right? We want to do that. We want to support people when they're doing passionate things we care about too. So to come back to prices, size can really play into how much you're going to spend on a doll, right? So an SD, she is going to range somewhere $390 to $350 for a blank doll. This means no face, no wig, no clothes. She just comes to you as we do into the world. If you go for a full set, you're going to be adding probably about $200-ish onto that on average. And that goes almost, I wouldn't say completely across the board, but think about it in those kinds of proportions. If you go down to the MSD size, so these little guys, which that was how I limited myself. I said I am only buying MSD and smaller to try to keep the budget reasonable. But they can be anywhere from about $220 up to $390 blank, $380, $800 with stuff. Yes.
So a full set would include clothes for them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And sometimes you can do the full set, which is the clothes, and still choose a blank face. Face ups, I've noticed when I buy, if I'm buying from a company, are about $25 to $50. And you can usually choose that. And then the full sets themselves range from about $80 to $200, depending on how elaborate their costumes are. And then YOSD, that is a super popular size because they're smaller, they're less expensive, they're easy to store, and they're easy to find accessories for. They usually range $200 to $300. There are exceptions, but that's about where they go, and then the full sets would be about $100 to $200 more, depending on what you're getting.
Now we're gonna speak on dealers. These are the different places you can get them from. There's Denver Doll Emporium. That's my favorite. They take a lot of my money. They offer layaway. All of these places, I believe, offer layaway, which is awesome. So that means I don't have to come out of so much money all at one time, unless I see an in-stock doll, and then I'm just like, I have to have it. But they have layaway options. They offer different doll accessories, and they have in-stock dolls and accessories as well. Then we have Alice Collection, another one who's taking my money as well. They also have a layaway. They have free worldwide shipping in most cases, which is awesome because a lot of places charge a lot for shipping.
We're talking $35 to $50 on average. If you've got a bigger box, it gets more.
Yes, so the free shipping is awesome. They do run sales and promotions, and they have a large variety of different dolls, clothes, eyes, whatever you're looking for, you can find it on there. Then there's Dolk. They offer layaway as well. Have you bought from them?
I have not, but Dolk is an old, they've been around a while, and if I'm not mistaken, they may have their own lines of dolls as well. They're really reputable, especially as they are, they do a lot of international dealing as well. And I think that they might be based in Japan. I think they might be in one of those old school original Volks kind of thing.
Then we have BJD Divas. They offer a good selection as well. They have layaway as well, and they also carry in-stock items. And then there's Jane's Dollland. I like them. They have a nice selection as well. Again, they offer layaway because, again, that's what with that as much as these dolls cost. We want to have the option. And they do have in-stock items as well, and also a loyalty program. Now, we're to the secondhand.
This is her realm.
Yes, because most of my dolls, I started out secondhand before I went on to putting the money into it, because I want to make sure that when I started doing stuff for dolls, I wasn't messing up dolls that cost a lot of money. So where to buy secondhand? If, like you said, if you can get on DOA, they have a marketplace. It's kind of hard to get to their marketplace. You have to qualify. You have to be a poster. You have to post so many things. Make so many posts, and it's only limited to dolls that they approve. And they do have dolls that are not recast, but they don't approve. So, don't ask me why, I do not know.
So a lot of it is there's a lot of boycotting via DOA. So, for instance, my first doll was one that I purchased without realizing that this company had a not so great reputation. They were the ones that ended up with some 7-year waits. I had to wait 2 years for my first doll. And so they have decided to boycott that company because they have a strong enough voice in the BJD community to actually get through to companies. We're not gonna let you treat your customers this way, which is, it's kind of nice. And I would say if you buy secondhand via DOA, it's hard to get into their marketplace because they have so many parameters. It took me years, literally, just because I wasn't on there all the time. But they have great prices and they scrutinize what goes on their site. So you're getting a legit doll.
So when you buy from places like eBay, Mercari, Yahoo Japan, you have to be very careful because there are a lot of scammers on there and there are a lot of recasts. So you have to do, I'm not saying it's impossible because I've bought a doll from Mercari before, a doll with two.
And I sold on eBay before.
So it's not impossible, but you definitely have to do your due diligence. And then there's Facebook Marketplace and Instagram. Well, there's still a potential of people scamming you on there because they have, but there's a great community on there, and they, for the most part, they look out for each other.
They do, and if someone has been scammed, they will flag.
They
They'll
will
flag those
them.
people on Facebook.
There's a whole group dedicated to scams and to call out the scammers, so you'll know who to look out for. They're pretty good about looking out for the community. However, again, you still have to do your due diligence.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of buying secondhand, we went over these. You want to make sure that they have the COA. If it was a doll that has a COA, older dolls may not have a COA because they didn't have to have it back then. There wasn't recasts weren't as what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Prevalent, thank you, as prevalent as they are now. So you also want to make sure that people have actual pictures of their actual doll, not just stock pictures, because someone will sell you something that they do not have. You want to make sure that with your method of payment, you are using, unless you know the person, you want to do PayPal or Venmo, goods and services. Those are the only ones that will give you protection. If you do it friends and family, like I say, you better know who you're dealing with because you have no course of getting your money back.
Especially when you're dropping $200+ on something. Make sure you're covered.
And then again, if you don't know the seller, you might want to check into their credibility. A lot of the groups you can ask, hey, have you bought from this seller? Do you know anything about them? You can find that out as well, just to make sure you're dealing with someone that's on the up and up. Then as far as the shipping method, you want to make sure that, one, you want to make sure that's the shipping method that's also going to get to your doll. And two, you have to always make sure that they're not overcharging you for shipping, because a lot of people will try to get you with the shipping. Because there is no reason why, if I live in Michigan and you live in Ohio, and I could drive there for less than $50, you should not be charging me $50 for shipping, unless it's like a life-size doll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to be careful of that. You also have to think of the country of origin, tracking number. Some people will offer layaway options. I've not dealt with a person with layaway options, but I do know that some people do offer that, and some people will throw in extras as well. And these are some good sources if you want to learn more about the different aspects of collecting. And there's several YouTubers, websites, and Facebook groups that you can check into. Let's take a picture of it.
Do we have a QR code for this one? No? Okay. Sometimes we have one, sometimes we don't, so.
Okay, so, whoa. And if you are in Michigan or the surrounding surrounding area. These are the groups that are going to be, we have two groups in Michigan. We have the Michigan Dollhouse, and we also have the MIBJD. And if you're in Ohio or surrounding area there, we have the Ohio BJD collectors.
And most of them are the north part of Ohio, so if you're coming down from Michigan, it's not too rough.
Right. We also have an annual tri-state meetup, which is on June 21st. We had one last year, and we're having another one this year. It's basically the tri-state area and beyond. We have a whole meeting room. We have vendors, food, games, prizes, all that good stuff. And it's down in Bowling Green, Ohio. And the cost of it is $15 a person, and that's just basically to cover the cost of the venue and the food.
Well, and you usually have like selling and stuff like
Yes,
that too,
yeah, all of it.
and trading. So it's like a mini convention,
It is a
mini doll convention for $15.
Yes. So, and this is our meetup group. We have a group to speak on the meetup. We run ideas through there and all of that. And we also have a website where it will give you the hotel information and how to pay for admission to the meetup. And does anyone have any questions? No questions? It's game time, guys! See, I want to get through the
You're like, I
talking
wanna
part
do
so
the
it
fun
gets
stuff.
right.
All right. You want to do this part?
Okay.
Okay, I'll do this part. Bear with me. I can't move easily.
Okay, so let me just ask. When it comes to dolls, this is a quiz. What type of doll is this one?
Does anyone remember? I saw that hand go up first. Yes.
YOSD, or like whatever.
She might not be able to see.
Oh, okay, let me
Oh.
lift it up.
That's okay.
Oh, is that a 1/4?
Nope. And then I saw this one in the yellow.
I was gonna say it's an MSD, but it might be an SD.
It is not.
Are we talking size or the type?
Type, I'm sorry, I should have said that. Type. She said SD, go ahead and give the.
Is she technically an SD?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All
yes,
right.
because it is an
Ready?
SD, but I didn't
SD.
specify.
SD's like.
So what type of doll is it? Yes, she
Smart
is
doll.
a smart doll.
There's lots of candy guys.
I wasn't thinking super dollfy for a second.
Because they're a brand. I mean, they're a thing.
Oops, a wig is falling off.
Yeah, you guys have tips on keeping the wigs on, by the way.
I do. I actually use iPutty.
I need to get more of that.
I use, they
White
have
sticky tack also works. Don't get a colored sticky tack.
so there's also, he has some on his. There's the
Velcro?
You can
the
do.
Velcro.
There's
You can put the
Velcro.
Velcro on one side of it, the wig, and one on the head.
There are two other methods. I
Yep.
actually, on all the wigs I make, I use hot glue along the back. It's like a natural silicone to hold it on place. And then the other thing that can work too is, you know those putty earplugs? Those
Yeah.
work too.
Oh, yes, those will work for not only keeping the wigs on, but work on the eyes
Eyes.
too.
Yep.
It's, cause that's most of my dolls.
And
that's
it
what
doesn't stain.
Right.
All right.
So.
Okay, done.
Let's see. So, I know I didn't ask the question. Can anyone tell what type of doll this is? What type, not the scope, but what
Yes.
brand of doll?
What brand?
Is that a mini dollfy twin?
Oh,
He's so cute. And we will have show and tell. We have lots of time at the end for show and tell. Are you ready? You got it?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So, you can ask a question.
I can ask a question. All right. Can anybody tell me the difference between a BJD and other types of dolls? What two differences? I think I saw that right in the back.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. The main difference with BJDs is that they have like elastic inside of them, and another one is they have like ball joints instead of like
You got it. You got it. Are you ready? Yep. Yeah, got it over there. All right. You got another one?
No, you got.
I got another one. Okay. What is the nickname for a 70-centimeter doll? That's a hard one. Ah, yeah, you got it. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, nice catch. I promise that I will try not to assault people with candy. You got another one?
I have a, is there anyone, first I need to ask a question. Is there anyone here that does their own face-ups? Okay. This is for the face-up people.
For face up, we had one of the persons do face ups.
Yes.
Okay, cool. We got 2 face up
Okay.
people.
So what is the tried and true sealant for facing up a doll?
Oh, I feel like your hand went up first, but we've got some good calls, and I can tell you guys know the answer too.
I have a theory, but I don't know.
Okay. You did have your hand up first.
Mr. Super Clear?
Mr. Super Clear. Yep.
I know that just because I watch a lot of monsters.
It is a lot of the same stuff. I am sorry.
Just stand it back up.
Okay,
Turn
can it see
the
you?
other way,
Turn it the other way. My bad.
Okay.
By the way, she does post on YouTube, so that
Yes.
blog that will be there for the entire world.
So, I'm sorry. she's going.
And you gotta own it, right?
Yes. So, can someone name a doll? Well,
All right, give me 3 brands that are not BJD dolls.
thank you. That's what I was trying to get.
I know you've got a good answer. Can I give it to somebody else? Okay. Okay. All right. You give me one, you give me one, you give me one.
Imomo doll?
Youmacon doll, okay. Not BJD. Yes.
I was gonna say Parabox because technically they also have non-BJDs.
They do also have non-BJDs, that's true. Also, I'm going to dare somebody out here that you know a doll brand. That is not a BJD doll. Exact. Come on, give me some dolls that are not Barbie. Thank you.
She's trying to give the
I'm
candy
trying.
away.
I need some on my next
Anything
panel,
like
but
Rayline.
sorry, Rainbow High. Thank you.
Anything like Rayline.
Exactly, rats. Thank you. So you guys all know things that are BJD related without even knowing it, right?
The My Life, My Life, and by that, Our Generation.
Yep,
And
yep.
based off the American Girl series.
Yes.
Also my scene.
Yep. Okay, here's a question. Jeanette, if you've got other things, interrupt me, please.
Okay.
Here's one. Which company started BJDs as we know it? Okay. Oh, wait here in the back. You got it,
I was
sir.
gonna guess that. I didn't know for sure, but.
Thank you. Now here's another one. Super nerd questions. I love the super nerd questions, okay? What did Volks start doing before they did BJDs?
Model kits?
Yes. What kind of models?
Military?
They may have had some. What are they known for in our community? Gundam. You guys can get one.
You can give it to someone else.
Oh, okay.
Okay, while she's doing that, we're going to have a grand giveaway. I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna give, the only thing I need you to put is your first name on here. So you can be a part of the giveaway. While she's asking questions.
Oh, I'm still asking
Yes,
questions.
she's
Okay.
still asking questions.
This is how we keep you guys in here as we bribe you with sugar. Let me think.
Oh.
Now it's coming up. Typically, we have a slide with questions on it, and so that's usually what I go off of. So now I'm just kind of making some up. Does anyone know the best time of year to buy a BJD?
Not Christmas.
Not Christmas? Okay.
Never thought of the best time of year.
Never thought of best time of year.
After Christmas?
Close.
Thanksgiving.
Black Friday. Good guess.
Yeah, February.
February. Do you want to know why? Chinese New Year. You got it.
First name and last.
It is after Christmas. I was looking for that. Yeah.
I get it.
So just so you know, if you're interested in BJD, Chinese New Year is the best time to do it because they have tons of sales. And for BJDs, getting 15 to 20% off your doll to 25% off your doll adds up really fast. That's how I usually buy mine. Is I'll pick what I want. and I will wait until that time to get it because it's significantly less expensive. And usually, like, again, because most of these companies are out of China, Korea, Japan, there are plenty of independent artists that work here in the States. They don't usually do sales like the Chinese New Year sales, but these other places do. I had another really good question, and it's going to leave me right now. But we're also passing out pens. All right, here's one. We're at an anime convention. Which anime? You already know this answer, don't you? Which anime is known for having BJDs in it? Oh, Rose and Maiden, you got it. Okay, cool. And you guys have good catches. You're really good at this. Okay. We talked about, let's see.
Everybody get one?
Everyone got one? Yes. Oh, do you need a pen?
No, you said you were sewing stuff for your doll. Is there patterns or something?
Yes. If you're ever interested in BJD patterns, I suggest Etsy because they're usually like between $1 and $5, and you just download them and they're printable. And because they're not like, so I'm a fiber artist. I sew all sorts of things.
So knit.
Yes.
Crochet.
Yeah, exactly. And they have crochet patterns and stuff too. Obviously, Den of Angels will have a section that's like free patterns and stuff you can use, but Etsy is a great place to look for doll patterns. You will find them in every size, and again, they're inexpensive, and because you're printing them on regular printer paper, but they're only for dolls, they usually all fit. You don't have to worry about scaling it most of the time. Here's one that I was just thinking about. This is not really a question for you guys, but just kind of a thing to, if you're interested in BJDs and you've looked at the low price point to get in is still just not really where you're at. Who here knows about the blind box dolls? Okay. There are, so the best known dealer for blind box dolls is Kika Goods. Who here goes to Kika Goods for figurines? Lots of people, right? Okay. They're addictive. They have cute new things every day. But they do sell legitimate ball-jointed dolls in blind box size, both fantasy and more like realistic characters, typically anime style. They are usually $25 to $35 a box. And if you want to be specific about which, you don't want it to be blind, you want it to be a doll box, you know what you're getting, you can usually get them off of AliExpress. They are legitimate, and they're opened. Yes.
She's all AliExpress.
There you go.
Yeah.
AliExpress does have some legitimate dolls. You have to really do some due diligence to make sure you're not getting a recast, but they are on there. Yes.
So can I like say something? It's not really a question.
Please.
In addition to that.
Yeah.
I know that there's a couple websites that sell. I think I forgot the Chinese name, but it's called Dividing Line Dolls.
Oh, I have
They're
not heard of that.
resin. They're like an eco resin, so they're
Oh.
much cheaper than normal dolls. But you can get them in either blind box. It comes with like one of 7 face sculpts.
Oh, cool.
Or you can pick a specific one. I think it's My Dollcollecting,
Nice.
and Jane's Doll Land.
I will
Did
definitely.
you say dividing line?
Dividing lines. And I do know, I haven't been on Jane's Doll Land in a couple of months, mostly because of other things, but I do know that they carry a lot of things that typical, like more traditional BJD dealers don't carry.
I know there's
So
like a
that makes
Chinese
sense to
name
me.
for it. It's like Beijing or something like that. I'm not quite sure.
I feel like you continue to try to say something. Yes, did you have a
Oh, I
thought?
was gonna say that, some people in the dealer's hall are selling some of the ball jointed doll blind boxes.
There goes my money.
Like there is one that when I got my first BJD, I was like, she needed an upgraded doll. And so I went to Miro Doll.
Yes.
Because I had that suggested by another doll BJD owner as a really cheap option.
Oh, they do come with dolls now.
And it is cheap, you do get what you pay for, but it's a nice starter.
It's a nice starter, yes. Miradol is one of those companies that they do sell legit. There have been people that have contested how they do their business on DOA, so they're banned on DOA. It's one of the things, DOA is kind of like it's a mixed bag. They have some really good things about them, but they are very gatekeepy. and they're kind of judgmental, and if you make a mistake on their forums, they will chew you out. So I find myself mostly on Facebook or following Instagram accounts and things like that, just because the Facebook community is very understanding, very welcoming, very informed, very active. And I know a lot of people aren't on Facebook these days, and
Y'all don't see nothing. Y'all don't see nothing.
I will. I'm
It's on
showing.
the Second Life icon.
I'm showing my age in that I am a millennial, so I don't TikTok. My guess is TikTok though has an active community as well. So, does anyone have other questions?
How
Yes.
do we spell that? Kiko, the blind
Kika
box
Goods.
ones?
It's KIKAGOODS. I'm a bad speller, but I got it. Yes.
I only got part of that.
What about just like printing a room?
Yes, so this is a thing that's coming. If you are into 3D printing, and they do have, you can do it with, you can 3D print resin now, right? That's like my level. It's like one day resin printer. But yeah, there are tons of artists who actually design and sell their own sculpts, and you can go download those files and print it yourself. Again, DOA doesn't see that as legit. Even if you have a legit BJD that is all of their other requirements, Facebook is the place to connect with those people and get information. Yes?
Are you saying that they think 3D printed dolls aren't legit?
Because they can't screen them. They can't vet them. And that's one of DOA's things is like they want to be able to vet. They are so, I appreciate they are so pro artist, and they are trying to build a community. Just be, oh yeah,
Kiko Goods, thank you.
Kika Goods.
Kika Goods?
Yeah,
KIKAGO.
yeah, KIKAGOODS. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Look, see,
They sell all sorts of cute
Yeah,
things.
that's what I'm left over.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, if you're just like, okay, this is interesting, why would I like this? Why would I really do BJDs? If you collect action figures, these are the ultimate action figure. Just putting it out there. The ultimate action figure. And yeah, and if you're really hardcore, I know you saw some of the like Nier Automata dolls and things like that. Hard to get your hands on because they're Volks. They're so limited. You have to buy a lottery ticket and enter a lottery to have a right to buy one. But they're out there. You can get them, and they're beautiful, just beautiful. Yes.
So sliding down the printed, make your own dolls route, there's a couple of YouTubers, there's Moonlight
cool.
Jewel.
Yep, Moonlight Jewel's great.
There's also Teeny Tinkers who has a second channel, Teeny,
She has-
does her own stuff, and I'm like,
She may be my favorite BJD YouTuber to follow. I just feel like she is the epitome of where the community is now and where they want to be. Does that make any sense?
yeah,
So-
like she's reached the point where she's like, I'm not gonna buy, like, I love buying dolls, but I'm gonna make them now.
Yes, yes. She's, and I mean, I'm a sucker for her aesthetic. I'm a sucker for, Moonlight Jewel's aesthetic as well. There are a lot of other doll artists, especially if you have enjoyed like watching the Monster High. That's what got me back into BJDs was the Monster High repaints. I'm like, I vibe with this. And that's also, if you want to kind of experiment and see if customizing a doll is a thing you want to do, get a cheap doll elsewhere. Like I don't recommend Barbie really, it's not quite the same vibe. Monster High is perfect for it, especially since they've,
Actually pretty good now too.
yes, Rainbow High is great too because you can cut in and do the interchangeable eyes, by the way. That's a game we should really put together, Jeanette. What is the creepiest thing you've ever said while talking about BJDs?
I have a brand new body coming in.
Exactly. My favorite was we were discussing a couple cons ago, we were discussing ordering legs off of eBay. I'm like, this is good.
Right now, Denver Doll is having their Halloween sale, and a lot of their accessories and some dolls are going at lower cost than they usually go for. And they have different type of aesthetics.
Yes, it is such a, we have these kind of dark goth looks. We have totally anime looks. You get everything under the sun. It's out there.
So yes, they're definitely having their sale. So if you have time and you want to, just like here, there's a doll here. If you just want to start out with something small, there's a doll here for $98.
That's an amazing price for
So.
the 27. So the 27 cm, that's going to be this size here. It's technically a YOSD, but they're very different body types. So, like the traditional YSD is designed to look like a child. These are designed to look like Barbies. Why do I like this size? They fit Barbie clothes.
So just to give an example, this specific doll that's on here now, that's the one that's in the one you picked up.
This lady in the green.
Yeah, let me see.
Well, because the other one's Gina, right?
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
that's actually her. So she does. See, that's how small she is, and
Yep.
you can start out with something small like that for less money. And if it's something you want to do, you can buy, move up. Then you start it low, and then you can, like she said, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Denver Doll has a lot of good deals going on this weekend, so for their Halloween spectacular. So if you want to check them out, definitely check them out, denverdoll.com. No, I'm not sponsored, but I should be as much money as they get for me.
They're also, like a lot of these dealers, by the way, BJ Divas and Denver Doll, they are run by they're little family shops. They're really, really, this was started by a mom and her daughters. Just so when you're working with them, it can be good to have a dealer because they will go between you and the company and make sure, they'll double check to make sure that your doll is what you ordered, especially if you're dealing with a country that you have a language barrier with. That can be really helpful to have a third party come in and kind of interpret what's going on. And they can help keep the shipping down. I've found that usually if you order direct from the dealer, the shipping's going to be higher because they're coming from overseas to you.
How often is it that they make you measure your doll to do outfits? Is that always, or is that just like a custom?
That's
not
more of a custom.
Yeah.
Because they usually have the basic 1/3, basic 1/4.
Okay.
But if you want something that's specific to your doll, because again, let me give you an example. That's why I bought all the dolls, because to give you an example. This doll right here and this doll right here are both considered 1/4 dolls.
They don't
As
look
you
it.
can see, they are not anywhere the same. Just like this is a 1/4 doll, different body dimensions. So if you want something custom, they're gonna ask you for all of that. If you're just willing to just deal with the basic and custom, do it, tailor it yourself, then that's when they don't ask all of that. They'll just ask what size doll.
Yeah, I
you
have her
have.
measurements saved, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning because China versus here.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning to measure my doll.
So, and like I said, a lot of them will do your dolls in different colors. I like to customize my own dolls. All my dolls, except for maybe one or two of them, I did all their face ups and I dyed all of them. So that's where that's where I like this hobby, is because it brings out my creativity and what I can do.
If you like cosplaying,
Mhm.
this is the best cosplaying outlet when there's no con in between.
Yep.
The clothes go fast. It can be anything you want. It can be any body shape. And if you want a chunky doll, there are designers that make chunky dolls, just FYI. If you look at these and you're like, I want something that reflects me or what I'm comfortable with, or I just like that body type, they have the chunky dolls out there. So they're not as easy to get from Asian companies. You're usually gonna find them from American or European independent artists, but they're out there. And they're becoming more popular, especially with the 3D printing. Just FYI, 3D printing. You had a question, Jojo.
That was my question, if they had any other sizes, or any shapes besides the ones that are...
Okay, if y'all are not averse to doll nakedness, I will show you.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm just going to give a disclaimer on that. Let me look.
Also, when you order a doll, most doll companies will have 2 or 3 different body types. And, to the average eye, it usually is more of a, this looks more youthful and this looks more mature. You can choose different chest sizes if you're ordering a doll that's going to have a varying chest. You can choose athletic bodies with certain companies, and they will range anything from lean teen anime character up to All Might. So just that spectrum of buff.
Just like this is a resin sole,
They are anatomically correct.
and she is more of a slimmer doll, although they did give her curves. She is more of a slimmer doll. This is a Gaudreau doll. This was one of the only American BJD companies.
There are American independent artists. There are a lot of those. And once in a while, you'll see them pop up
And
at a
if you
convention.
If you see from her, she is real, her shape, from her shape, you can definitely see the difference. Oh, her hair covering up. You can see the difference. I'm gonna show, both of these are 1/4 now. And then we're gonna go to this 1/4 here. She is on a ample doll curvy body. And if you can see,
Are those relatively new?
yes.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't remember having seen that last time I was on there.
So, again, I feel all So, if you can tell, there's the slimmer body and then there's the curvier body. So, by the back, you can tell. So they come in again, especially Smart Doll really quickly put it out there.
Yes.
You can get the even curvier than that.
Yes. And you can get dolls with, like, if you feel like you want to have a character or, yeah, oh yes, I'll answer.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask, is it like the type of resin that makes a difference in like how glossy or mattering they are? Or-
It can. I think most of what it comes down to is a lot of Jeanette's dolls are dyed, and so they will take the dye different ways, and so it'll look glossier. And another big thing is sealant. Whatever sealant you're using on the doll can change if it's glossy or matte.
Question about, does this panel go to 101?
130.
130. And I'm technically doing the next panel, so I can't let it go too far over, but if it goes over, it's not the end.
All right, so I need a bigger box than this.
And we will make room for people to come up and look. We want you to look. We might
Yes.
ask you not to touch just because these are expensive dolls, and while I know as individuals you are all responsible adults, when responsible adults come en masse, they get excited and things happen.
Okay, so for the giveaway. let me
If
tell
they
y'all-
want to touch one, she's fine with it.
Okay, that's
All right,
fine.
So for our giveaway today,
She's not a real good example, but
No, she is.
we are giving away a doll family H head, SD size.
that's
She comes with her COS.
Oh my goodness. This is an item, especially with a face up, is probably a $50 to $60 value. Just FYI. I'm sorry?
What size body?
SD. Just so you know too, pretty much any SD body. We didn't show anybody's like insides, did we?
No, you can go ahead and do that.
Hi, Marinette. I didn't bring any dolls today, but if you want another example of like chunk, I put Marinette on the spot because she's got like big hips going on here. That was awkward. But in case you don't know, so this is going to be a similar head to that one, and I can walk around. Inside the head, you've got your S hook, and that lifts out and twists, and it lets you switch up what head you would want on it.
Is that how it's supposed to be right now?
She is supposed to be Marinette.
You able to switch the eyes like position?
Yes, you can. I'm not going to because it makes a lot of noise. Fake nails, which makes things difficult to get the eyes in the correct front face. Yes. And I will say, like, the cool thing is I found a person online who makes custom eye inserts that you put in there and you can move the eyes around. Kind of more like a pull-up or a live doll. Which is why live dolls and pull-ups are so popular, right? Is you can move their eyes around and stuff. If it creeps you out, I apologize.
I like that leaf dolls.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't think I've ever met one in person.
I'm gonna let you.
Oh, I'm gonna do the honors.
Okay.
All right.
it up good.
Can we get a drum roll? Anyone wanna go? Whoop. Ta-da.
Who is it?
This goes to Kyle B. Lord Paradox Gmail. Woo! Congratulations, Kyle!
I never won anything.
Now you have to get BJDs.
Now you have to get a body.
There you go.
We'll just have a floating
There,
measure.
CLA took
Oh,
over.
snap. Congratulations. Oh,
And who was our person who answered about the face up? What's
the
that?
MSD?
Yeah, the MSD.
MSD?
Oh, MSC?
The
MSC.
MSC? Yes.
And you said you do face ups, right?
Yeah.
I also do face ups.
No, I also do them too. Give them a question. Give the both of them a question. Wait, y'all drove here, right? Okay. Now give them both
Like,
questions.
is it? Oh, okay. MS.
No, you can give them those two, just the two of them.
Those two.
Mhm.
I feel like any questions I have about face ups is so.
No, you can just give them any question
Any question
about dolls.
about
Don't
dolls.
ask them nothing else.
I have so many questions about face up though.
So many. Well, we will happily answer questions about face up, but this is a question for them
Yes.
about dolls. Oh goodness. You would pop this on.
Never mind, I do it.
If you've got one, you go for it.
So, my face up ladies, how long does it usually take MSC to get to you when you order it?
I buy it at Hobby Lobby, actually.
You buy it with who?
Hobby Lobby carries it now.
Yep.
When you Hobby Lobby? Good. Let's start carrying
Every
it.
Hobby Lobby I've ever been to carries it.
They carry it now. It's been about a year or two, I feel like, since they started carrying it.
Why my Hobby Lobby don't carry it? I've been looking for it.
It's in
So
the
don't
hobby
go
stuff
to
section.
her Hobby Lobby.
Now you're gonna have me go into Hobby Lobby now. Did you know Hobby Lobby carried it?
No.
Here you go.
Oh, that is.
So is it like, can you not, is it dangerous?
It-
So you know where to get it from. So you
but they get extra candy.
I have like 3 kids that know.
Huh?
Oh, I get it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cause she said she wanted to make me look bad. I didn't know Hobby Lobby had it. I'm like, my bad, sorry.
I've seen it in one in Florida and.
Give her some more
I
candy.
am. I deserve it.
Yes, give her some more candy.
You're welcome. All right, we are gonna go ahead, if you're ready. Are we ready for show and tell?
Yes.
Do that, right?
If you want to come up and see some of these lovely friends and ask questions, if you have other questions, we're happy to answer.
Yes.
I'm gonna